All right, guys, quick update. So I've been going through the research phase again. I feel like this is going to take the longest out of everything I'm doing just because I think it's the most important, making sure that I'm dialed in on my avatar, dialed in on what they need, these understanding these foundational insights and what's going to be the main drivers for this person to act. I think is going to be key, especially since I'm using AI. The quality of what I feed it is going to determine what the quality of what it spits out. So been spending some time with this. I went and copied a bunch of like the most valuable reviews I could find on different books that I thought were interesting. What I usually do when I do this, I go through and highlight in green things that they desired or liked, in red things that they're afraid of, in yellow any kind of, or orange any kind of demographic information, or anything that might give me clues of where to target these people online, and blue anything they liked about the book, or in this case a book, or what they liked about the product itself, like the way it was done. In this case, he appreciates straightforward approach. I think in my first review up here, he mentioned that it's like a workbook and there's activities. He liked that. And then if there's things that they don't like about the book, like in this case, he didn't like that there was very profound language. I'm marking like a purple. I just, because it's like a quick color coding system I use. And as I go through, study them, kind of highlight things that I find that stand out to me that as far as their desires, just to get a kind of a general feel for who we're working with, who the target market might be. Once I went and did that for, I think that's like 3 or 4 pages of different interviews here, or different reviews, started filling out the research template, created an avatar. His name's Zach. He's 32, grew up in a normal home. Parents forced him when he was 12. He served a few years in the U.S. Army. Now he works as a plumber. Got married. He has 3 kids, 2 boys and a daughter, works for him and his family. That's kind of his kind of driving ethos there. Day in the life, wakes up early, hits the gym, listens to podcasts, puts in a day of hard work at the job, takes pride in doing a good job of what he does as a plumber. He gets home 5:36 p.m., super physically tired, helps around the house, does his best to be there for his kids and wife, watches a game or show with his kids, is in bed by 10:30. Any kind of free time he has outside of just like mind-numbing entertainment, he's going to spend that dreaming about his own plumbing company someday, or doing something in real estate or something like that. He's trying to figure out a way to improve his life. Values. So right now I'm having him as traditional conservative values, very American, very patriotic, loves his family, sees himself as a father first. That's his first part of identity. That was something I pulled out of the reviews up there. Loves his family, sees himself as father first, sees the way the world's headed, and he's worried. You know, he's definitely buying in all the fear-mongering news stuff. He feels like he's under attack. He's worried about his kids' future, the economy, all that stuff. Very anti-leftist and the Hollywood crowd. He thinks that like the libs are like destroying the country, destroying his life, that kind of stuff. And he believes in hard work, earning what you want, and being a strong masculine man. That's like his ideals. He might not necessarily be living those ideals, but that's what he feels. Outside forces, the economy acts on him, the media acts on him, his employer acts on him, schools act on him and his kids. Feminists act on him and his worldview, leftists as well, and his parents, to some degree, have acted on his current beliefs. So current state, these are some things I found. Obviously, I think the biggest one here is they feel like their kids are being attacked, the masculinity is being attacked, and that the world is trying to make their kids weak in the face of difficulty. And they don't really like that other people are influencing their kids more than they are. They're worried also that they aren't doing a good enough job as a parent. This is a huge insecurity that he has. He knows he could probably do better. He's starting to see his kids start to act entitled, start to act not the way he'd like them to, and it bugs him. It makes him angry about it. Facing these overwhelming challenges. Again, a lot of these are all based on the stuff I got there, right? He feels like his life, like his own fire, is being like drained as a man, and he feels like that's affecting his kids. Other people perceive him. He imagines that like the libs hate him. Like other people on the outside world, he thinks that these people hate him for being the strong masculine man he is or would like to be. Right now, he worries that he's letting his kids down. This is the biggest status play for him. He feels like his kids don't really respect him. He feels like his kids don't think he's like an amazing superhero. He feels like his kids don't really respect him. And that they'll just look at him as just dad. They won't really appreciate him for what he does. He worries that his wife doesn't think he's a good father, that she thinks he could be doing better. She thinks he's inadequate. And like that's a big fear of his. Zach's also worried that other parents see his kids and think he's weak or a poor father. He's worried about what other people think about his kids. And then this is the way he describes his own current state. Dream state right now. This is what I pulled out. So right now, he would love to have sons that adore, respect, and listen to him as his father. He wants to be a better example for his sons. He wants his sons learning important values and skills that he wants to instill those in them so they'll be prepared for the hard times ahead. He definitely sees the world ahead as being difficult. He wants his sons to become strong and masculine and be able to resist the influences that are trying to make them weak or feminine in this world, right? He wants the sons to keep that inner fire, that masculine drive alive. He doesn't want their dreams to be killed. He wants to foster those. And he wants his sons to become the future leaders of the world. That's his dream. That's what he wants. He wants to be that father that is raising his sons that way. He wants them to be successful. He wants to see them succeed. He wants to see them succeed at like a jiu-jitsu tournament or something like that. He wants to see them win. He wants to make new memories with them. He wants to make meaningful memories. He wants to be an important part of their lives over the years to come. But this is where it starts to get fun. Again, the status side. How do others perceive him? How will his sons perceive him? How will his wife perceive him? All that stuff. His sons will adore him as fathers. Like he wants them to look up at him with like that light of admiration in his eyes. Like that's what he wants to see in his sons, right? He wants to become the superhero. He wants the wife to be proud of him for taking care of his son or of her sons and leading in such a masculine way. He wants to be that man and to have her respect. He wants the lips to hate him even more. He really wants the hate from the crazy blue-haired feminist ladies. Like that's really what he wants. And he wants future generations to look back and be proud of him and like say kudos to him. He probably even wants people to be jealous of his sons. Like that's probably something I should add. That's probably a huge part of this, right? Right now, if he was able to achieve that, if he was able to become that father and raise his sons that way, he would feel like the man. His testosterone would shoot up and so would his chin. He'd be extremely proud in a really healthy way. Now I'm going to go through and identify these roadblocks, talk about creating the solution and kind of ideation around the product. And then I'm going to dive into the actual plan the full offer and create the actual product with AI. That's the next step. So again, this part right here, we're identifying their dream states, their current states, and identifying the roadblocks. This is the most important part. So I'm taking a little bit more time than normal on this. I think this and Facebook approving the ads is going to be the longest part of this entire process. So right now, I'm going to go through, I'm going to define the roadblocks, define the solution, and start playing around with some ideas of what the product needs to kind of look like, feel like, before I dive into actually planning the offer and creating the product. So just in the slog of it right now, in the middle of the research and the planning and understanding, this is the process. So I'm moving along pretty well.